2325, an ordinance to amend the 2023 fiscal year budget for the city of Fort Oglethorpe. It is hereby ordained by the mayor and council for the city of Fort Oglethorpe an ordinance to amend the 2023 fiscal year budget to provide for provisions therein as authorized by state law, to provide for severability, to repeal conflicting ordinances or parts thereof, to provide for an adoption effective date, and for all other purposes allowed by law. Is there anyone here that would like to speak either in favor of or in opposition of the amended 2023 fiscal year budget? Mayor, doesn't appear anyone's present.
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. Item number 2 under public hearing tonight is a request by owner J. Shada Harley, probably got that wrong, have property known as map number 00038096000A, Lafayette Road, Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, is on to C2, from C2. Well, my note must be wrong.
That's right.
Yeah, from C2.
From C2 to C2?
Yes.
Allowing, it's okay, allowing beer, wine, and packaged distilled spirit sales in Lafayette Road Overlay District. Mr. Stokes.
Yes, sir. Ordinance number 2023-27, be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, a zoning amendment ordinance for tax parcel number 0003A09600A, Lot 2, Lafayette Road, Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, 30742, requested by the owner, J. Chodalahari, as to the amended zoning of said property from a C2 to a C2, allowing beer, wine, and packaged distilled spirit sales in Lafayette Road Overlay District, to amend the official zoning map for the city of Fort Oglethorpe, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and for all other related purposes. Is there anyone here that would like to speak either in favor of or in opposition of this as it rezoned? Mayor, doesn't appear anyone's present.
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz.
Oh, was there someone? Yeah, go ahead. What is your name, sir?
Mike Wall.
Mike?
Yes, sir. I'm the general contract for J. Shahatre.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Well, we're proposing that the zoning be passed, or is it for the overlay?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Where? I can't see it. How big is this?
Big.
The building.
Oh, the building. It's approximately 8,000 square feet, sir.
Okay. Is this the one that's going to be built next to Arby's, or will it be closer to the eye doctor?
Well, it's actually a little closer to the Arby's.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So looking at this plat, where it says, so it would be on lot number 1 on this? Is that the idea? And then there's room for future hotel development?
Well, there's 1.74 acres in this piece of property. We have plans of doing a hotel on the other half of the property.
Okay.
It's still in the planning stage.
I see. I was just looking at what was in the packet.
Right.
And that's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? That concludes our public hearing for tonight. At this time, we will call our regularly scheduled council meeting to order. Mr. Stoltz, if you would, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Mayor Earl Gray.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Derek Rogers.
Here.
Councilman Jim Childs.
Here.
Council Lady Rhonda James.
Here.
Councilman Craig Crawford.
Here.
Council Lady Paula Stinnett.
Here.
Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. Let the record show we do have a quorum for tonight's meeting. This time we do our invocation and our pledge. Mr. Rogers, if you would, please do the invocation. Mr. Crawford, lead us in the pledge, please.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for all you've done for us. Thank you for this city, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity that we have to live here and the opportunity that we have to serve the citizens of Fort Oglethorpe. Pray that you would give us a profitable meeting tonight and help us to do what's right for the people of the city. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is to set the agenda. Ms. Hume, do you have any additions or deletions? Thank you, Ms. Hume. I entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Childs. Second.
Rhonda.
Second by Ms. James. All in favor say aye. Aye. Agenda is set. Next item on the agenda, if members of council have had an opportunity to review the minutes from our regularly scheduled council meeting held on July the 24th, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Next item on the agenda is ordinances. Item number 1 is the third and final reading of ordinance number 2023-25. Ms. Stoltz?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Ordinance number 2023-25, an ordinance to amend the 2023 fiscal year budget for the city of Fort Oglethorpe. It is hereby ordained by the mayor and council for the city of Fort Oglethorpe an ordinance to amend the 2023 fiscal year budget to provide for the provisions therein as authorized by state law, to provide for severability, to repeal conflicting ordinances or parts thereof, to provide for an adoption effective date, and for all other purposes allowed by law. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. Have a motion to vote on ordinance number 2023-25.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. James, second by Mr. Childs. Any discussion? Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Ms. Stennett?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 2, second reading of ordinance number 2023-26. Ms. Stoltz.
Ordinance number 2023-26, it is hereby ordained by the governing authority of the city of Fort Oglethorpe an ordinance to amend the code of the city of Fort Oglethorpe, Chapter 6, Alcohol, Article 2, Division 6, Package Sales of Distilled Alcoholic Beverages by adding the definition of construction in Section 6.135 and providing a procedure for a hearing in the revocation of an applicant's application under Section 6.143 to regulate the grant, refusal, suspension, or revocation of applications to sell or dispense packaged distilled alcoholic beverages in the city of Fort Oglethorpe, to provide for the provisions therein as authorized by state law, to provide for modification, to provide for severability, to repeal conflicting ordinance or parts thereof, to provide for an adoption effective date, and for all other purposes allowed by law. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. Item number 3 is the first reading of ordinance number 2023-27. Mr. Stoltz.
Ordinance number 2023-27, be it ordained by the mayor and council for the city of Fort Oglethorpe, a zoning amendment ordinance for tax parcel number 000309600A, Lot 2, Lafayette Road, Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, 30742, requested by the owner, J. Chodalahari, so as to amend the zoning of said property from a C2 to a C2, allowing for beer, wine, and packaged distilled spirit sales in the Lafayette Road Overlay District, to amend the official zoning map for the city of Fort Oglethorpe, to repeal conflicting ordinances and other related purposes. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. Next item on the agenda is new business. Item number 1 under new business, recommendation to execute a telecommunications and right-of-way management contract. Mr. Stoltz.
Yes, Mayor. Back up until 2020, the Georgia Municipal Association and the City of Fort Oglethorpe had a contract where they provided telecommunication services for the City of Fort Oglethorpe. We've been unable to determine why that contract lapsed, but basically the City of Fort Oglethorpe currently has 3 providers seeking to install telecommunications equipment in the city of Fort Oglethorpe. In addition, our cell tower that we have in place, the lease is fixing to expire. This is a real niche area, and if we don't have some expertise, I'm afraid that we might not get the best price and the best results, and GMA provides this expertise at a very reasonable price. They're going to provide basically the service for the rest of the year for a little less than $3,000, and the contract for a year will be about $5,800. And I believe if the council considers it, we'll probably recoup that in increased revenue for these towers.
Thank you, Mr. Stoltz. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mr. Crawford. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 2, notification of the emergency repair of the hand drive pump station motor. Ms. Hughes.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. In the last week or so, we had a failure of one of our motors. There are 2 motors that power the Andrive pump station. It's the largest pump station in the city. And that left only 1 motor in operation. The repair had to be done immediately because 1 working motor was not going to be able to power the station in the event of excessive flow rates or a heavy rain event. Chattanooga Industrial Motors Incorporated was able to perform the repair in the amount of $13,892 coming out of the water and sewer fund.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. Have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Rogers, second by Mr. Childs. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 3, recommendation to replace the rooftop HVAC unit over the police training wing. Ms. Hughes.
Thank you. Over the past couple of years, we've had to replace several HVAC units throughout the building. This building has a lot of HVAC units, and a lot of them were original to the actual building. The HVAC unit in question over the police training wing is original to that area of the building and was installed in 1989. It's been repaired increasingly over the last few years, and it's now begun leaking coolant. Due to the age and the condition of the unit, it's more economical in the long term for us to replace it rather than to repair it. So if approved, that will be $19,928 coming out of the general fund to replace that unit.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. I have a motion to approve.
Motion, sir.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Stinnett, second by Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 4, recommendation to declare various items as surplus. Ms. Hughes.
Thank you. We've been doing some house cleaning in City Hall and in 64 3rd Street building that we recently purchased. These items are not going to be used or no longer going to be used. They're include but not limited to office furniture, furnishings, office equipment, supplies, and appliances. They're housed mainly in 2 locations at City Hall and at 64 3rd Street. If approved as surplus, these items will be placed on GovDeals and they'll be sold in an online bidding process. If and when those items are sold, the funds will be deposited into the general fund and the items will be removed from our insurance policy and asset ledger.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. I have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. James, second by Mr. Child. These items include items that's at the church that's fixing to be torn down.
Yes, sir.
How are you going to put them on GovDeals if you're going to tear it down?
Well, we can house them in the warehouse. We can house them in the warehouses and anywhere else that they'll fit.
You're talking about the stuff in the church?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like church pews.
So we're going to spend
refrigerators.
money hauling that stuff out of there to put on GovDeals. Is that what I'm understanding?
We do have to dispose of property that we own in this process.
And the deadline on that contract, tear it down, is what?
I don't think that Jeff has actually engaged them yet, but it was supposed to be down by November the 1st, I believe, the house, the church, yes.
Thought it was September the 1st.
I saw a big dozer over there today.
Yeah, it's been there.
And
Very
we'll
well.
have our staff move it as best we can to get those items into the warehouse. So there shouldn't be any additional cost to remove them.
I have a motion and a second. Oh, I already got that, hadn't I?
Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 5, recommendation to purchase a sewer jet truck attachment and to declare surplus the unit currently in use.
All right, our sewer jet truck has an attachment that is basically the jet that sort of, services our lines. It's at the end of its useful life. We use that almost daily, and it's becoming increasingly unreliable. So when customers experience issues, the department needs to have a fully functioning jet truck to perform its duties, and this attachment is a critical component. If approved, the attachment currently in service will be declared surplus and sold on GovDeals, and then if and when it's sold, it will be removed from the city's insurance policy, and the funds from that sale will be deposited into the water and sewer fund. Also, if approved, the purchase of the attachment is being recommended to be purchased through the state contract, Georgia state contract with the Georgia State Contractor for Environmental Products Group. And the amount is $83,758, and this would come out of our ARPA funds.
Have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Crawford, second by Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 6, recommendation to award an annual contract for uniforms and service items. Ms. Hughes.
Our diligent finance director was doing some digging and found out that for all the services that we currently get for public works and public utilities, we could save 30% if we just entered into an annual contract instead of going month to month or sort of ad hoc. So this is just that, out of the water and sewer and general fund, $5,800 to have an annual contract to provide those staff members with uniforms, mats, and other service items like towels and things like that.
Have a motion to approve?
Motion, sir.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Stinnett, second by Mr. Childs. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 7, recommendation to procure billboard advertising services for city events. Ms. Hughes.
Thank you. For the last year, we have been advertising with some success, with a lot of success actually, at the Lafayette Road and Battlefield Parkway billboard. That billboard has displayed advertisements for us 166,000 times each week since we engaged in that contract a year ago. We hear from a lot of our citizens and a lot of customers in the market and attendees at events that they saw it on the billboard. So that tells us that it's good and that it's been helpful to us. But with more events coming on and more things that we're doing, we routinely receive feedback from citizens saying that they wish they had seen it earlier, seen it more, seen it somewhere else. And there are a lot of opportunities that we can capture sort of closer to I-75 to bring people further into our city limits. So the recommendation in front of you tonight is to have multiple billboards throughout the region, to keep the billboard at 27 and Battlefield Parkway in the amount of $15,600 for the year. And then it's also being recommended that the city enter into month-to-month agreements in the annual amount of another $15,600 with both Plainview Advertising and Reagan Outdoor Advertising to showcase events in multiple locations throughout the area, on billboards such as the I-75 exit off of by the Costco, the Ringgold Road exit in East Ridge, and then the Alabama Highway near I-75. Placement on in these advertising locations will be targeted based on the type of event in question. And these efforts will also help us stretch our message and our events into the Chattanooga and further into the northern Georgia areas, which is something that we desperately need. If approved, this will be funded because of our new arrangement with the Fort Oglethorpe Regional Tourism Association. We will actually be able to fund this in half by hotel motel restricted funds, because these funds must be used for promotion of local events. It will be funded also in part in $5,800 of it will be funded through the farmers market grant that we receive and through an Ag Georgia Farm Credit grant, which leaves $9,800 for the year coming out of the general fund.
Thank you, Ms. Hune. Have a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Ms. James, second by Ms. Stinnett. Any discussion?
Who's responsible for the design?
It depends on the type of event, but typically it is our economic development and events director.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 8, requested approval of special event permit to hold a Christmas in Fort Oak Parade. Ms. Hume.
Thank you. This is just our parade, just like we did last year for our Christmas parade, which is back on again after a couple of years off. We had a very successful parade last year. We're thrilled to see everybody lining up so early, and we just want to be able to do it again on Saturday, November the 25th from 6 to 10 p.m. Everything is largely the same as it was last year. Police will be helping us with blocking off the roads, and we hope to have an even bigger crowd. And this year we will be passing out candy because we all forgot to do that last year. So I just want to put that out there. We will pass out candy this time. We just won't throw it.
Have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Dennett, second by Mr. Crawford. Any discussion?
I've got a question. I don't know if this is the format for this, but could we create a scenario where, like if you go down to the Ringgold Christmas Parade, their roads are so much smaller, everybody's so much tighter. Like, could we have the parade down the middle and have people literally standing in the road?
We actually had that discussion with the chief last year. We sort of mapped that out a little bit. You want to speak to that a little bit, Chief?
Yes. Due to the design of Lafayette Road having the islands now, it makes it a little bit difficult. But if we maintain that one side, we're more than happy to bring the folks out into the roadway once we've got it closed. But yeah, we can bring people and keep it on the one side of the roadway this year so they can get a little bit closer to it, a little bit more intimate. So we can work on that.
Yeah.
And I get what Tim back. Big bag. And I was out early.
Big bag.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Next item, city manager's report. Ms. Hume.
Just some reminders that we always do. Farmers Market, this is our last month of our Thursday Farmers Market. It will end this August 31st, 3 to 6 p.m. every Thursday from now until then. And then Sundays through October the 1st is our regular weekly Farmers Market from 1 to 4. Also, I'm just going to say it every Monday until we can't anymore. Come out for Labor Day at the Post, whether you want to be a vendor, you want to be a shopper, you want to listen to some music. We have free kids activities from 10 to 7 all day on Labor Day. The Car Show Brothers will be there, and we have live music with Confederate Railroad and many other people, so please come out. And then finally, on a serious note, we lost one of our long-serving employees this weekend, Elaine Jackson. She has been with the city, or was with the city, since 1999. Elaine has been sick for a long time, but she has never not tried to come to work, no matter how sick she was. It was even hard to get Elaine to take vacations. She loved being here. She loved these people. And the word you hear every time anybody has talked about her ever was sweet, tender-hearted, and kind. And so to Elaine's family, her devoted sisters, Pat, Barbara, and Connie, and to her husband, Barry, just thank you for sharing Elaine with us for 25 years. We will miss her very, very much. That's it for me.
You want to make an announcement about the closing of City Hall? Oh,
yes. In honor of Elaine, and so that we can allow our staff to celebrate her life, City Hall will be closed at 12:30 on Wednesday so that the staff may attend the funeral. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Hughes. Next item on the agenda is mayor and council comments. I do not have anything. Mr. Child?
Yeah, this Saturday is a car show at Memorial Hospital on Battlefield Parkway, and all the proceeds go to St. Jude, so I think it starts from 10 to 7. You can go down, put a car in for $20. They have food donations. Last year they raised about $43,000. So if you're not doing anything Saturday, go down, look at some cars, give some money. Sit there.
Mr. Crawford?
Yes, thoughts and prayers to Elaine's family. I mean, she was a good one, and she's going to be missed. And also, unfortunately, Chief, I was not able to make y'all's event last week, but I heard it was a very great turnout, great event. And as always, y'all first class, do a great job. And today. I know several people on Battlefield Parkway realized real quick we had an issue with our water, and I know Courtney Johnson and his crew did a great job to get that restored and get us up and going. And it was real critical right there at lunch hour, so I know some of these restaurants were kind of excited about that and nervous at the same point, but they did a good job and got it going. Great staff here. She kind of hit on the city manager, kind of hit on it with Elaine. I think it's a good place. A lot of people enjoy coming to work here. I know me and Councilman Rogers talked about it. We've had several employees that we've been here that just lifers is what you call them. So that says it's a good establishment, and grateful for all of our employees and the efforts and their families, what they put into our city, as me being a citizen as well. And I know all of our citizens were very thankful for what y'all do for us to have a better way of life. So thank you guys.
Mr. Rogers.
I'll echo that. Condolences to Elaine's family. She will be missed. She was a real legend around here and just a beautiful person. So we'll miss her a lot. Also wanted to mention we are opening, or having the grand opening for the disc golf this Friday, right?
Oh
Or
my gosh, I can't believe I forgot. Thank you so
Saturday.
much.
Saturday morning. Well, you can say it. But Saturday morning at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Is the ribbon cutting, and then we're having a tournament that kicks off at 10. Is that right?
Tournament kicks off at 9. That's the first
9,
round.
okay.
And then the second round will start at noon.
And
Yeah.
do you know how many players?
Right now, there were 36, I believe, was the cap. It caps at 36, I believe. Phil, is that right? Because your son is one?
There's 36 at 9 o'clock and 36
Right.
at 11.
Okay.
So they'll be starting at all 9 holes, 4 each hole,
Okay.
going around. And the ribbon cutting is at 11.
Okay. Well, that'll be exciting. I think a bunch of them have been practicing because I've seen a lot of disc golfers out there.
You could sell hot dogs and hamburgers back off your place.
Lemonade.
Elephant.
I had a disc in my backyard yesterday. If there's a name on it, I'll send them a text message.
Yeah.
A lot of them have their numbers on the back of them.
We've got a lost and found box coming.
I'll send them a
so.
text message and then I'll leave it out there for them. But I've got if anybody's listening, there's an orange disc. It's my daughter's just going to claim it if nobody comes and gets it. There was no name on it. So anyway, that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Ms. James.
Sympathy to Elaine's family. We will miss her. And Derek didn't tell you this. He's not going to brag on his own, but I'm going to brag on his daughter sat there with us and wrapped hot dogs the whole time at National Night Out and just had a blast. But we appreciate that's teaching her to serve the community at a young age, and I do appreciate that. But we had fun.
That was fun.
Ms. Stinnett.
Yes, sir. Well, the Veteran Citizen Council was there in force to help with National Night Out, so we wrapped a few of those hot dogs with Ella and served in the Coke wagon. It was always a great adventure. Thank you, Chief, for setting that up and all of your crew. And save the date, November the 10th. We will be having James Rogers, a patriotic evening with him. And, of course, November 11/11 at 2 o'clock is our Veterans Day Parade. And don't forget, coming up October 28th is the Halloween Spooktacular. This is the 4th or 5th annual, and we'll be partnering with Fort Oglethorpe's Finest, our police department. That's all, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Stinnett. Next item on the agenda is executive session. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Crawford, second by Mr. Childs. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This council is in executive session. I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. James, second by Mr. Childs. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This council is out of executive session. In executive session, we discussed real estate, personnel, and litigation. Last item on the agenda is adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Crawford made the motion. Mr. Rogers made the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.